Yo, what's up guys? It's your boy Brandon Arnold back with another video. This one, I'll be talking about The Matrix 5 and how it can actually redeem the entire franchise. Check it out. So, news just dropped that Drew Goddard will be writing and directing the fifth Matrix film. And I gotta be honest, I have a lot of thoughts about this. Because for me personally, The Matrix is one of my favorite franchises of all time. But after that fourth movie, I'm not gonna lie, it left a dark cloud over my head for about 3 days. I mean, I walked out of that film feeling really disappointed.
I don't suppose he can still fly?
Yeah, that's not happening.
So, hearing that a new filmmaker pitched an idea so strong that Warner Brothers basically greenlit The Matrix on the spot. And that definitely got my attention. But before we talk about what the future could be, we gotta talk about why this franchise means so much to me in the first place.
Unfortunately, no one can be told what the Matrix is. You have to see it for yourself.
Okay, the first film, The Matrix, is honestly a masterpiece. It told one of the greatest modern hero stories ever put on screen. You had Neo, a regular guy, slowly discovering the truth about reality and eventually believing that he might actually be the one. But what really made that film legendary was the combination of influences. You had the philosophical sci-fi concepts, the anime inspiration from Ghost in the Shell, and the groundbreaking visual effects like bullet time. And of course, the incredible martial arts choreography from Yuen Woo-ping. That mix of cyberpunk philosophy and Hong Kong kung fu action literally changed Hollywood forever. I mean, I even created my own Matrix-inspired project when I first learned how to perform on camera. When I say I care about this franchise, I truly mean that. Which is why when I heard that Drew Goddard is writing and directing Matrix 5, I had a lot of emotions. Because after that last movie, I was honestly worried about where this franchise is headed. Now, if you was around 2003, you know what I'm talking about. That year was basically the Matrix Takeover. We got The Matrix Reloaded, The Matrix Revolutions, The Animatrix, and Enter the Matrix. The world was completely immersed in the Matrix universe. On top of that, you had games that clearly carried the influence too. Games like Beautiful Joe, with its stylish slow-motion action, and Prince of Persia, The Sands of Time, playing with time mechanics. I consumed everything Matrix in that era and loved every bit of it. Now, I know some people may have mixed feelings about the sequels, but personally, Reloaded has some of the greatest action scenes I've ever seen. Neo had evolved into this almost untouchable hero in The Matrix, and the fights reflected that evolution. The stunt performers and the fight teams really gave it everything they had in those films. And as someone who makes action films myself, I still reference those scenes when I'm creating projects like my sci-fi action short, Blade Echo.
ブランドン・アーノルドのビジョンからマトリックスとスター・ウォーズに着想を得て新 新たな特撮の壮大な叙事詩が幕を開ける。例のエコー。
That's the level of action I'll hold myself to. Then you had The Matrix Revolutions, which honestly felt like a proper conclusion to the story. Sure, I would have loved more action scenes inside the Matrix itself, but the War of Zion was still pretty cool. In the final battle between Neo and Smith, that felt like the closest thing we've ever gotten to a live action Dragon Ball Z fight. The scale, the power, the emotion, and then Neo sacrificing himself to save humanity. That moment had a lot of spiritual and philosophical weight to it, and it felt like a real ending. So when that movie ended, I honestly believe that the story was complete. And then in 2021, we got The Matrix Resurrections. The excitement was huge. Everyone was ready to see what new ideas the filmmakers would bring to the world of The Matrix. But the movie was a big disappointment. Nothing about it really felt like a worthy successor to the original trilogy. And the biggest letdown was the action. When people think about The Matrix, they expect top-tier fight choreography, and unfortunately, that energy just wasn't there. And what makes it even more interesting is what could have happened had the film been more successful. We might have gotten more experiences like The Matrix Awakens.
Hi, I'm Thomas Anderson. Like many of you, I work with computers. But computers are also mirrors, reflecting back who and what we are and the choices we make, the worlds we build. You still got it.
Like riding a bike, they say.
That showcase looked incredible. The graphics looked almost photorealistic, and the action sequences had that heavy impact that reminded me of Reloaded style action. And one thing that was really smart in that demo was how they recreated the actors as their younger selves, because fans are used to seeing these characters in their prime. That's the image people connect with the most. And the developers clearly understood that. Even more experiences like Cosmo, the Matrix shared reality experience, also show how powerful this franchise still is. Watching the original Matrix in that environment, it felt like you were inside the movie itself. That's the kind of excitement and culture I want to see return to this franchise. And that's the weight The Matrix 5 is carrying right now. So now we arrive at Matrix 5, with Drew Goddard stepping in as writer and director. And he approached Warner Brothers with the pitch himself. And honestly, a new creative vision might be exactly what this franchise needs. It's no secret that the Wachowskis were probably exhausted creatively, and they didn't originally want to come back for the fourth movie. So maybe bringing someone in new who's passionate about the universe could be the thing that puts the Matrix back on track. If Matrix 5 really wants to succeed, there are a few things it absolutely needs to focus on. First, a new cast could revitalize the franchise. The original cast is legendary, but a new story could open up the world in fresh ways. Second, they should explore more of the lore that was introduced in the Animatrix. I mean, the universe is massive. Third, the movie should absolutely lean into modern AI themes. I mean, with artificial intelligence advancing in real life, the concept of the Matrix actually is more relevant now than it was in 1999. And finally, the action has to return to form. I mean, if possible, bringing back Yuen Woo-ping would instantly elevate the fight choreography. Some people might think he's too old to return, but after watching Blades of the Guardians, I can confidently say he hasn't missed a beat. The action in that film is top-notch. The choreography is sharp, it's dynamic, and it still carries that classic Hong Kong martial arts energy. And seeing Jet Li back in action, it just reminds you of why this style of choreography is so legendary. Woo-ping is truly one of the greatest action choreographers of all time. Now, another legend who would fit perfectly in a Matrix production is Sammo Hung. His mastery of martial arts filmmaking is also incredible. I mean, just watch The Prodigal Son and you will see what I mean. So, at the end of the day, I absolutely appreciate the intelligence of the Matrix story. The philosophy, the concepts, the deeper themes, those are all important because we know without story, action becomes weightless. But let's be real. If you're going to see a Matrix film, you also expect to see the best action cinema can deliver. That's part of the Matrix DNA of the franchise. So hopefully this new installment can bring the Matrix back on its feet and deliver that kind of action and storytelling that made the series legendary in the first place. Those are my thoughts. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments. And do you think Matrix 5 can bring the franchise back to greatness? Be easy, stay stylish, and I'll catch you on the next one. Peace.